Our last story today is about a state business with a perfect safety record. Harrison Logging of Grenada is the outgoing Mississippi Forestry Association's Outstanding Logger of the Year. Now, the most obvious reason is safety. The company has not had a lost time accident in the 27 years that it's been in operation. But there are many other reasons why they are outstanding as well. Farmweek caught up with the Harrisons in late September while they were on a job near Oxford. This is one of the 4 harvesting crews operated by Harrison Logging of Grenada, Mississippi. This crew is managed by Kevin Harrison in the center. His father, Carl Harrison, on the right manages a second crew. Kevin's brother, Darren, on the left manages a third crew. And cousin Paul Harrison manages the 4th crew. Altogether, there are 27 employees. Darren Harrison says things were much different back when he joined the operation in 1992.
We had a bale cutter and a cable. It was all cable and chainsaw work then. We don't even own a chainsaw anymore. It's a big difference what it was then and is now.
Today, Harrison Logging operates a fleet of equipment that includes 7 skidders, 5 feller bunchers, 6 knuckle boom loaders, and 4 crew and service trucks. For each of the 4 harvesting crews, safety is always the top priority.
You cannot have enough safety. I mean, everybody out here, you spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day with somebody, you become like family. But there's no amount of money, in the world that can bring somebody back if something happens.
Harrison Logging has never had a lost time accident since the business was started in 1984. Their perfect safety record can be attributed to ongoing training from the Mississippi Loggers Association, the Mississippi State University Extension Service, and other groups. Members of the Mississippi Forestry Association Timber Harvest Committee say the company's outstanding safety record, along with its use of best management practices or BMPs on timberland, are 2 reasons why Kevin Harrison was chosen the Outstanding Logger of the Year.
Probably one of the greatest attributes that we saw that was their flawless safety record. Been in the business for 27 years without a recordable accident. Not only that, but to talk about the BMP work that they do, and they hire a separate BMP contractor to do all their BMP work. It's always, a lot cheaper for them to do it themselves, but they figured out, well, we can hire somebody to do it, and do somebody that specializes in it and does a good job of it.
And as most loggers know, when you get ready to move, you're in a hurry to move, and you won't do the BMP work like a contractor will. And I want to make sure all my clients are satisfied, and repeat business is where we get 90 to 95% of our work from.
This job at Goose Valley Ranch in Oxford, Mississippi is a good example of that repeat business. Harrison Logging is doing a second thinning on a tract of timber owned by Joe Huggins and his wife, Linda.
We feel like he just does an exceptional job. He takes care of the property. We have areas that we call signature spots, and he pays particular attention to them and does a fine job doing them however we want them to be. If we want to leave stuff, he works around it and just does a great job working with the landowner and taking the time and effort to really do a fine job.
Besides knowing the landowner's expectations before moving any equipment onto a job, Kevin Harrison develops a specific site management plan for his employees to follow while working there. This plan incorporates the principles of the Sustainable Forestry Initiative, as well as best management practices.
You got to know where everything's going to be set up, where the road's going to be built, where the land is going to be built. We've got a program, my timber buyer, before we ever move on a job, that we got a topo map, aerial photograph. We to get with the landowner, see where he wants the roads, and you need to know 2 days ahead of time before you ever move on a site. You got to have your plan laid out before you ever move on that job, know what you're gonna do. If you lose a day's downtime, you done lost several $1,000s if you waiting to try to figure out where you're going, where you're going to move to.
Harrison Logging's concern for the environment is seen in all of their management practices. For example, landings are leveled by hauling tops and debris back into the woods with skidders. It is scattered over skid trails to minimize compaction of the soil. Fine debris that won't hold in the grapple is left on the landing to prevent soil exposure. Water bars and turnouts are installed on the roads after completion of a job. 2007 marked a turning point in the history of Harrison Logging. Before then, almost all of their timber was contracted with Weyerhaeuser and Georgia Pacific. Only 15% was purchased directly from landowners. But market changes in 2007 provided the company the opportunity to expand by purchasing more privately owned timber. This eventually led to the hiring of a full-time procurement forester by Harrison Logging.
The role that I play with Harrison Logging is strictly a procurement role. To be sure that the company maintains an inventory, a forest inventory that's large enough to keep all the Harrison crews running with wood. My responsibility covers pretty much everything from contacting any prospective seller of timber to the contracts that are involved in procuring timber or any county haul permits as necessary.
The wood from the thinning operation in Oxford is going two different directions. The chip and saw is being taken south about 30 miles to Weyerhaeuser and Bruce. The pine pulpwood is being hauled 124 miles northeast to the PCA containerboard mill in Counce, Tennessee. Carl Harrison, who started this logging business in 1984, says the distance wood has to be hauled now has increased dramatically from the 1980s.
Well, back then it was more mills and closer haul. If you hauled over 30 miles in, you was on a long haul. Now it's very common to haul wood 100 miles or better because of mills, there's not as many mills now.
Throughout its history, Harrison Logging has been an active member of the Grenada County Forestry Association. In May of 2011, they sponsored a CFA meeting on the economic impact of forestry. In other recent community involvement, they sponsored a logger education program last year in the county. This included providing a log truck to MDOT for a day for use in demonstrations to other loggers. With a flawless safety record, dedication to the use of best management practices, and a commitment to the industry, Harrison Logging is an undisputed leader in North Mississippi. From Oxford, Mississippi, I'm Leighton Spann reporting.
And you can watch this story again on Kevin Harrison and his crews on the Farmweek website, our Facebook page, or on YouTube. Now, our website is farmweek.msucares.com. Find us on Facebook as well and give us a click on that like button if you feel so inclined. Once again, artists, a very large operation there, 27 employees. I mean, that's a major employer in that area.
Any town would love to have a business that size. It's just not a brick and mortar store. They require the services of accountants and people and repairmen just like everyone else. It's just that they're doing it out in the woods and are doing it in various locations. A major business. But congratulations to the Harrison on their great safety record, if nothing else.